Hello, listeners. Welcome to the Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon podcast. And if you've been listening for a while, I love to talk to business leaders in Asia. And today we have none other than the founder of Marketing in Asia, Azleen Abdul Rahim today. And actually, we've been connected for years. We just talked about this, connected for years. And I also have been featured in Marketing in Asia for a number of times. So he used to have his list most inspirational icon on LinkedIn. And then I will feature it. And I thank him always for featuring me in the past. So today I'll ask him questions about that as well. So a bit about our guest today, we have Azleen Abdul Rahim. So as I said, he is the founder of a content sharing platform called Marketing in Asia. And he'll share more about this later as well. As of 2021, this Marketing Asia was acquired by a Singapore-based company for 250,000 US dollars. And he is also an adjunct professor, right, in a Malaysia-based university. And as of the acquisition, he is now one of the directors of marketing in Asia as well. And we've been connected for a while. He is definitely, if you ask most people in the marketing industry in Malaysia, you know who Azleen is. And one of our previous guests, which is Faisal Sohaimi. So if you listen to the episode on B2B sales, said you must interview Azleen. I said, yes, he's on my list, but I yet to reach out to him. So Azleen, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Well, I'm honored to be here.
Thank you.
Honored. Okay, truly honored.
Thank you, Azleen, for coming on. And yeah, we have, as before the interview, I said we have the same mission, but different platforms that we create. So Azleen created Marketing in Asia, and this podcast is for business leaders in Asia. So for all of our guests, we have the same question when we start off. So what is your favorite Kung Fu movie?
I think the best is always the Kung Fu Hustle. I love Stephen Chow. He's my icon. Okay. He can crack jokes, but he can do kung fu, and he knows how to blend things. And I love all his jokes. And then the next one will be The Matrix. Yeah.
Awesome choices. Awesome.
Yeah.
Kung Fu Hustle is such a classic. It's my favorite movie. I remember watching it in Mid Valley many, maybe 20 years ago now. That movie is a bit classic. When Stephen Chow actually came to KL to promote the movie, I was there. So Kung Fu Hustle, right, is such a classic movie. I would say you don't need to understand Chinese. You don't even need to understand Cantonese to watch the movie. Sometimes I go to a mamak and somehow it's on the TV. The mamak people, you don't care what race you are, English, whatever, you watch the movie, you don't need to know the language. It will be an amazing movie. Seriously. So if you're watching this and you have not watched Kung Fu Hustle,
right, and
it is a great movie.
And if they try to change that channel, everybody will be angry.
Yes. Like I always say this when someone mentions this movie, it is a great movie. It has everything from community, hidden, heroes, and it has poverty. I remember one scene in the movie of people lining up to get water from the pipe. So it's great, amazing movie. I tell you, I don't know how many times I watched it. It's still my favorite movie. You don't need any subtitle. You don't need to understand Chinese to watch that movie. You see the expression, the comedy, and the kung fu. Wow, that's a truly awesome movie.
True.
Yeah, and of course, The Matrix is a classic. It is not a traditional kung fu movie, but it has a lot of kung fu in there and a lot of futuristic concepts. Of course, if you don't know The Matrix, I don't know where you've been for past 30 years. The Matrix.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. It's
but the final one was a little bit let down. I don't quite like it. But the first 1 to 3 were amazing.
Yeah, the recent one I don't quite like it as well. So anyway, there's for people to decide. But yeah, the recent one I didn't quite like it as well. But I like especially the first 3 ones. Yes, was very amazing. So yeah, so today we have a real business leader in Asia today. So can you tell us, when you started off back in 2017, marketing in Asia, what inspired you to start marketing in Asia?
The main reason was I want to amplify the voice of the content creators. YouTube is doing a good job for videographers. So whoever knows video, they can just go and upload their videos on YouTube, and then they get views and they get money. And then what happened was that I was thinking, to help the writers. At the moment, there is very less, say, platform in this world for writers to upload their movies, their write-up or their articles on the platform, which eventually now we have only like Medium, Substack, and all, and they are based in the US, so West, and most of the audience are all on the other side. So on the Asia side, there's almost none. So I was thinking of like, hey, why do I create this? And then that's how, Marketing in Asia was born on 2017. At that time, it was very, very slow. One person on board, then 2 person, then 3 person. Then we got up to 2021, we got close to 700.
Wow, that's amazing. So I see the Marketing Asia platform. It is quite very interesting. So like you said, there's a lot in the West, like the Substacks, the Medium. So it is a true content platform for Asia today. So what is Marketing Asia in Asia today? Like how many? So you said you had 700 members.
Yeah.
So how is it today in 2023?
2023, what happened was that after the acquired, after Cooper Venture acquired, the direction changed, and the new owner wants to make the brand to become like a media company. So what happened was, when the direction changed, there will be more content coming from the editorial team. Because at the moment we have close to 20 people, and every day we write content, good stuff, news, opinion based, and most of the content are being built, internally. And we are now becoming a media platform where we do features, we do interviews via podcasts, videos, we do street journalism. And then there are, I think, a few more that is going to be introduced very soon. So they are now, what I'm trying to say is that Marketing in Asia now is no longer like user generated, but it is a media company, and we want to go Asia. So
Awesome.
This is what it's all about.
Awesome. So a lot more editorial content.
Correct.
And now you have interviews in there as well.
Mm.
And I also heard you on the Harif Carpenter's podcast. You mentioned there's an expansion in the region. So can you also mention a bit more about that?
We are trying to reach, beyond than just South Asia. And the idea is to go like the Middle East, from the other end of Asia to the other end, like from the Middle East, from UAE, and then Saudi, Qatar, and so Bahrain, right up to South Asia, Sri Lanka, India, Pakistan, then Bangladesh, and then come down to South Asia, and then go down a bit more to Australia and also New Zealand, and then go up to North Asia, as in Japan and Korea. So this is where we are doing, what we are doing at the moment. And we are trying to feature more content coming from those countries. And we hope to get a better reach.
So you have, I would say, content creators in that region, am I right?
At the moment, not yet. But we are trying to build the content from here that is going to be focused more on the other countries. On those countries, but it is written here. It is written here.
Awesome. I like the vision. And because I also like Asia, because there's a lot of things in the West, but it doesn't happen here in Asia. So maybe let me ask you a personal question about this, because like I said, this podcast is for business leaders in Asia. And one of my personal challenges is I have never thought about interviewing someone in the Middle East. Because Asia is a very big word, right? It's a very
Right.
big word.
Right.
It can come from Middle East all the way to Japan.
Mm.
It's basically
Right.
that, right?
Right.
Basically that. So like, does this word Asia for you when you think about your plans and when you started marketing Asia? Do you think this word Asia translate also to places like the Middle East?
Yes.
Yes.
Whoever, if you are about to run a company, or if you already run a company, it will be a waste if you were to just focus on one country. Because once you are going to upload stuff on the web, it will spill over. You know, like it or not, it will spill over. It will spill over to some other country that you were like, oh, okay, I mean, like that. And it's fun. And to reach them out is not as difficult as before. You can use a lot of stuff. You can use LinkedIn. You can use some recommendation. Let's say if you met, Faisal introduced me. I can introduce you to some people in maybe China or maybe India, and then it will spread further. So just from one person to another. Even on LinkedIn, you can just simply say hi to one person and then connect to him or her, and then you already have like one connection in that country. So it's easy. Nowadays it's easy. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I like that. It is very interconnected nowadays. It's just one click away or one recommendation away, like you said, to
Correct.
connect to another part of the world.
Correct.
Yeah.
But one thing that you need to take care of is the profile. So your profile has to be trustworthy and somehow connect worthy. And when you send one connection request and then you write something about it and then, hey, I would like to connect with you, the first thing that the person will do is to check your profile. If your profile is worthy to be connected with, then he or she just like, okay, I just accept.
Awesome. Okay, so I'll ask I call this in my podcast personal questions. Because hey, it's very hard to get we have not met before this. So it's very hard to get you're a very busy person. So once I get you, I also ask questions on this podcast. That is for my own benefit. So I call this the selfish question. But anyway, you will benefit the audience. All right. So like you will probably be about episode 25 on the podcast. So I've had Faisal in Malaysia. We had many entrepreneurs in Malaysia, and my network is like you yourself. My network is okay in Malaysia. And then I had a lot of guests from Singapore as well. And I have challenges getting guests like yourself. Maybe once I start, it will grow. In countries like Hong Kong and Vietnam and Philippines. These are the countries I really want to get, because Asia, like you said, translate to very big, from Japan to Middle East. So what is your advice for me as a podcast? Like what are your thoughts? I want to get more business leaders like yourself featured on the podcast in the region.
Okay. I think you will get them one way or another. Okay. What you need to do is that you need to be patient. I give you one example. I think after you meet this one person who is maybe at the managerial level, then eventually he or she will know one person up, like C-suite or maybe director here and there. And then eventually it won't stay at one level. It won't stay at the working level only. Somehow it will goes up. It will spread I think it will spread further. I give in my case, when I created Marketing in Asia, it is a media outlet. So when it is a media outlet, I happen to know a lot of people on the web, especially coming from LinkedIn, who are in the media industry. And these people are hotshots, very, very big, very, very big. Some are like CEO of one media company, regional. And this media company happened to manage, like for example, McDonald's or maybe Land Rover. So one day you will meet. I think one day you will know them. but you need to keep on going. So that is my advice. Keep on going. I can recommend you some, and maybe some of your previous connection. If you can ask them to somehow recommend you to one person, and then he or she will then recommend you to one person. Then eventually you'll be able to branch out, or maybe stretch your reach further, and eventually reach all the C-suites.
Awesome. Thank you. That is great advice. And thank you for offering to help. I definitely have reached
No
out to
problem, no
you.
problem.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
I think I can help you with a few countries, Indonesia, and then maybe Sri Lanka, India, and then Hong Kong. Yes, Hong Kong, China, Japan, Mongolia. I'm not sure. Korea, I can check. But these are the countries that I think I can help you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So yeah, like you said, you have to keep going. And one of the things that I really admire about you, and you publicly say this, is that you were acquired in 2021. Right. So actually, I look up to a lot of these media companies that were acquired as well, but mostly are in the West. I love, there's this newsletter called Hustle that was acquired. And I think HubSpot acquired for 30 million. And then there is like Morning Brew in the US, which is a newsletter, more like a newsletter. So there are more,
Right.
but not many success stories like yourself in Asia, right? So like, what is your advice? Let's say, I'm in media also, and there are a lot of people in media, like, a lot of our friends. So like, for media companies, what is your advice if, let's say, or maybe tell us, how did your acquisition happen first?
I did not look for those people, and they came for me. Yeah. So after I look back, I think the the main reason is actually because of value. Value is a very simple word, but to build value is not easy. There are 12 factors on how to build value. But first of all, you need to have your own asset. It's a website where you help some other people, or a group of people, or a continent, or the world to solve their problem. So once the problem is seen as obvious, and you are solving some reach, I think newsletter subscribers, somehow it values one user, they value it like $30. Okay, $30. So that is an asset, because when somebody subscribe to your newsletter, it means that you can communicate with them directly, because email is direct. But if you if we use, for example, Facebook or LinkedIn and accumulate millions, you are not able to sell that, okay, because those millions doesn't belong to you. So email is very powerful, and you can value that. So there is one of the factor that you can calculate or somehow measure in order for you to answer to somebody who are keen to buy you up, or maybe invest in you. So email one, and then maybe if you create, for example, Telegram or maybe WhatsApp channel in the future, they are going to announce it. Then you try to accommodate. This is actually an asset that you can sell. Like social media followers, you can.
Awesome. And you said one key thing that you said that really interests me was, you said you didn't go looking for them.
No.
So how did they find you?
They found me from LinkedIn.
Awesome.
They found me from LinkedIn. Yeah.
Awesome. And anything interesting? So I know they will ask you for subscribers, maybe website traffic.
They ask for website traffic. They ask for users. They ask for how many content creators, how many content creators that I have, how many brand that has been registered with Marketing in Asia. So these are the 4-5 things that they ask, okay, before the meetup. So this, I mean, I think numbers are, all the data counts, you know. So that's why when you have asset, you are able to somehow prove it through Google Analytics. And you can screenshot this Google Analytics, the growth, and then you can send to them, and then they will then look at it. Okay, here's the truth, or maybe genuine, rather than you use words. So it's different.
Yes, I completely agree with that. You cannot lie to Google Analytics.
You cannot lie. You cannot lie.
Google Analytics.
You cannot lie. They will check your domain authority. They will check your backlink. They will check a lot of things. And if the thing match, then they will somehow like to purchase you.
Very good. Thanks for sharing. That is very good sharing there. So and how did the price come about? Is it by like you said, the number of subscribers that they count, or overall future projection? What do they use to come up with the offer?
They do their own calculation, and we base on that calculation, and then we negotiate, and then we just agree. As simple as that.
Awesome.
So this data, they have their own formula. Okay, because VC has 4 types. Okay, one is the VC themselves. So the venture capitalist is where they say, okay, Bob, I want to invest in you. These are the money, and I want certain number of percent of your shares, and this money will be given in what they call as tranches. So tranches means that once you hit certain milestone, you get more. If let's say I say 1 million, you will not get 1 million. Maybe you'll get maybe 100 over 1,000 first. And these are the KPI. So if you hit your first KPI, then you get another 100 or maybe 150 or maybe 200. And then you hit another KPI or milestone, then you get more. You get more until the 1 million finish. So that is VC. Then you have a venture builder. Okay, venture builder is some company that says that, okay, Bob, I want to have your shares. In return, what I'm going to do is I'm going to help you grow. So I will handhold you. Okay, I will bring in another co-founder that knows better about this subject, and then I will bring in tech person. I'll bring in legal. I'll bring in some stuff. I'll bring in a lot of things, and everything covered. Okay, so this is actually venture builder. Third is called accelerator. Accelerator, the biggest accelerator in Malaysia at the moment is actually Beyond 4. So what they do is that they said, okay, Bob, you can use my infra, legal free, tech free, office free, everything free, but I want your share. Okay, and then if you're able, I will also help you to raise money. If you're able to raise certain money, some percentage will go to me. So that is accelerator. The last but not least is called incubator. Incubator is all about theory. I help you, I handhold you, we do brainstorming, everything theories, but no money. Okay, I don't help you with a lot of stuff, but I give you advice. So there are 4 altogether.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing. So I watch also Silicon Valley, the sitcom. So that one is they start in the incubator in the house. Is that incubator there?
Right.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So it's so like for this acquisition for you, they are, am I right? They are a venture builder that invested in you.
Correct. So they are a venture builder company. They are based in Singapore, but the HQ is in India. So they came, they acquire, and they somehow took over the whole thing, and they somehow re-engaged me to help out on the show, on the operation here and there. And then yeah, here I am.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Like the part I really like is because a lot of people on LinkedIn are doing a lot of content and doing a lot of posts. A lot of people talking about personal branding. But I think what I like about you is you said you build an asset. That website is an asset.
Correct.
LinkedIn might go away one day or whatever, change policy or whatever will happen. But if you have like yours, you said you have subscribers, you have a website, you really own them. It's own
Uh,
media.
yeah, but the main reason for having an asset is that because if I think it is okay for you to upload it on some other platform, but eventually you need to bring those people back to your website for some monetization, because you need to find sponsors, you need to make money out of your content. They want to sponsor your show, and then they want to collaborate in certain way. And the only way to entice them is by having a website. But again, it is okay, for you for anyone to have their video or their content on some other platform, but you need to make sure that you are able to bring those people back to your website.
Yeah.
Mm,
I 100% agree with that. Like,
mm.
leverage on the organic reach on YouTube, whether it's YouTube, LinkedIn, where there's a lot of reach,
Correct.
but then,
Mm.
drive the traffic, back to your
Right.
website where
Right.
you can either collect emails or so many things
Correct.
you can do.
The
Yeah.
main reason is okay, because in this SEO there is one area called the off-page SEO. So this off-page SEO is half of the game, where they will measure the backlink that comes back from some other people's site back into your website. So if you have more link coming from outside to your website, your website will rank better. Mm.
Yes.
So
Yes.
if
Yes.
example, if you have a video on LinkedIn, and in the copywriting of that video, you are able to make them click. If they go to that word, they click, it goes into your website. So that is one backlink. Actually, Google measure that link. If you have more links coming from outside into your website, actually Google will rank your website better.
Yes, yes.
Mm.
That is the power of backlinks.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah, and there are a lot of things. I think if you're interested in this, you can go and research SEO. There's a domain
Yeah.
authority, all these
Yeah.
things.
True.
And yeah, thanks for sharing. I think I like the word asset because from what I see, why as a marketing business person, why I feel maybe for other people it's boring, but for me
Correct.
it's exciting because, like you said, it's an asset. Because the more content that you create, the more links you have, the more content you get out there, the more you rank on Google,
Mm.
it grows. The
It
website
goes.
grows. It
True.
grows in
True. True.
authority. It grows
True.
in traffic. It grows organically. So it is really like a real estate, which increase in
True.
value. This is
Mm.
a digital real estate, and the more content that you create, and last time when you had user generation, so a lot more users, more emails, the more content that is on the website, the more it grows over time. You just need to need to
True.
keep growing it. Yeah. So
Yes.
it
Yes.
is
Yes.
it is something very powerful
Yeah.
as well. Yeah. So thank you for taking the time for being here. And I think one question I would like to ask on behalf. So a lot of my audience here are on LinkedIn, as we met. So I will actually share this clips and podcasts on LinkedIn as well. So it is a success story that you have successfully, being acquired from a Singaporean company, when you said they actually originally from India. So it is a very regional story. So like, what is your advice for businesses out there, looking to expand themselves to Asia?
I think first of all is language. In the website, you need to build your content by using English more. But of course, there are some audience who like to use their own native language. So in Google, you can build like one plugin where you can use Google Translate to somehow convert certain pages into their own language. Okay, so that is very important. because nobody likes to read everything in English only. Some like their own native, so they need to have an option there. So that is number one. And then number two, you need to have a website. Like it or not, you need to have a website, and you need to build content from the web in the website. At the same time, you need to also build a content for other people's website. Make sure there's a backlink coming back. So this is also another important thing. Then you need to prioritize direct traffic rather than the SEO and also social media. But for now, of course, we need SEO and also social media to make the ball rolling. But once the ball is rolling fast, you need to slowly shift the source of the traffic into direct. I'll give you one example. Last time Airbnb, they were in the verge of closing down back in 2020 or maybe 2021. But when they check at their analytics, there are some portion that is some of the traffic that comes direct. So when they dig further, they actually notice that it's their media release and also email help them to sustain. So back in 2020, when we were in the MCO, Airbnb was like, their business is like going downwards because nobody travel, right? So they have a lot of issue, and they need to really figure out how to turn this around. And they then slow down on the performance marketing. So they spend less money on ads on Google or on social media, but they spend more on the media. They spend more on the PR, and they spend more on email. So now they are in a good shape. They are in a better shape than before. Thanks to this strategy, what they call as a brand marketing. Okay, and they just educate. Their content is now all about educate. They are way better today than before the MCO.
Wow,
So,
that is yeah.
These are some of the things that I like to share with the audience out there, that you need to spend more time, acquire direct traffic rather than hoping so much on the SEO and also social media.
Yes. That is so cool. That is actually very, very good. Yeah. So before we go, I think another question is that I thought of before today's interview was thank you for featuring me 3 times in a row in the inspirational icon. And
you
actually,
deserve it. You deserve it big time. Okay.
And it inspired me to have my own list as well. Recently, I have the CEOs to follow in Malaysia, Singapore, whatever. Like what inspired you? So I was inspired by you 100%. So, but what inspired you to create is 50 to 100, right? So what inspired you to create that list also?
I think these I would say personalities are very special persons. They are truly special in their own way, and they deserve to be out there and getting this recognition. It's not really an award or something, but it is just a recognition from us, from Marketing Indonesia, for the inspiration, for the ideas, for all the effort that is being done without hoping for money to come back. It's all about giving and giving. So these are the special people where what I thought of, like, okay, why do I just come up with this particular list and get them recognized eventually? But of course, they are also haters, and I cannot do much. So yeah,
maybe a side question to that is has any benefit come to you from creating this list?
No. No.
I don't think so. I don't think so. More traffic. I think there's 2 things that happens. One is traffic, and then secondly, in terms of branding, it puts you as the authority as well, and maybe helps you to build relationships. I'm not sure. When I create the list, I do have.
We do.
Yeah.
We do. Yeah. some relationship, and then more of traffic, I would say, more of traffic. So the spillover thing happened in the Philippines after that. So they use this case to build their own, and then now I think you also might come across the 100 inspirational, LinkedIn stuff in the Philippines. Then they also branch out to women, the 100 women. So I think in the Philippines they are more supportive. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Azleen. There's so much, right? Even though we just talked for about 40 minutes, there's so much advice and gold nuggets from here. And I hope I asked different questions. So for the audience, if you're watching this, I just talked to Azleen before the interview. You can refer to his interview with Popcorn and also an interview he did with Harif Carpenter last year as well. So thank you so much, Azleen, for being on the pod.
Always a pleasure, bro. Always a pleasure.
Thank you, Azleen.